Hi, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Mitsuko, so thank you so much for watching this video. Today I'm going to be sharing with you my favorite brushes that I use all the time, so let's get into it. Before I start talking about the brushes, I just want to share with you the products I use to clean them and then also go over how I clean them. The first one I have is the Beauty Blender Liquid Cleanser. This one is in a scent lavender. Beauty Blender offers two types of cleanser. You have the hard soap and you also have the liquid. I prefer the liquid. I find that it lasts longer for my routine, whereas the hard soap, I go through it so fast and I always feel like I'm always buying a new one. So once I switched to the liquid, it was just the best decision for me. This is good for natural and synthetic brushes, so you don't have to worry. I also use it for my sponges. Also, another tip that I have, whenever you're washing your brushes, for example, if you're using this one, just make sure you don't go past the metal, because if you do, then it can ruin the brush. Trust me, I learned it the hard way. The next one I have is an instant brush cleanser. This is the one I use. This one is from Makeup Forever. I've been using this for years, since I started wearing makeup, so it's been a minute and I truly love this. It's a great product and a little bit goes a long way, so you don't have to worry about it. Back then you were able to get this in this size, which is great because it's a spray. You can just spray it on the brush and then just swirl it on your fabric and it cleans the brush for you instantly. The reason why I think it's great to have an instant brush cleanser is, let's say if you don't have a lot of brushes at the beginning, or even if you do but you have a favorite brush, you want to use it for all of the shades but you don't want them to mix together. This is a great way to clean the brush and then go in and then use another shade and then you're good to go. I mean, there's so many different products on the market, but this is the one I use and I truly love it. But make sure you end up washing your brush because this is just temporary. Now, if you're first starting and you're having a hard time figuring out which brush is going to work for you, it can be overwhelming. I know it was for me when I first started. I just didn't know where to start. I think the best way to do it, and which is actually what I did, is to start with a set. Go with something that's affordable. When I first started wearing makeup, I would do like a one eyeshadow look because that's what I was comfortable with. So buying the set allowed me to try different types of brushes. Also, I was getting used to the different techniques, and then eventually I figured out what worked for me. So buy something affordable, work with that, and eventually you'll be able to find the specific brushes that work for your eye shape and you'll be good to go. Starting with the brush that I've talked about already on my channel and I use all the time. This is the 242 from Makeup Forever. This is a blender brush. I use this brush to blend any type of powdered eyeshadow and it's truly amazing. It fits really well for my eye shape. I mean, I can just go in my crease. I can also use it all over my lid. If ever I want something blown out and just very soft and diffuse, I love using this brush. It's also really soft even though it's synthetic, and Makeup Forever makes really great brushes. I'm truly impressed. I've been thinking about buying another one just as a backup because, you know, sometimes brands just discontinue their products. The other brush I have is from MAC. This is the 242. This one is a natural brush. It's a little bit smaller. It's almost the same size as the Makeup Forever. They're similar, but this one is definitely different. I actually first started using this brush just to blend all my eyeshadows. It is a great brush and I feel like it's super popular as well. The only thing is, because of the natural fiber, it gets pretty hard sometimes, like you feel like it's poking your eye. After you wash it with your cleanser, go in with a little bit of conditioner just to make it a little bit softer. Rinse that out, but don't do it often. Only when you find that it's getting a little bit rough on the lid. So essentially, I use this one just to diffuse the eyeshadow, just blend out the edges. Sometimes I'll also use it just to mix the two together. I don't believe MAC makes natural hair brushes anymore. This is how old this is, but I do believe there's another one that is synthetic. I haven't tried it because I like this one and it's fine. But if ever you want to try, I will link everything for you down below. The next one I have is from MAC. It's also a blending brush. This is the Duo Fiber number 286. If ever I'm applying a cream or liquid shadow and I just want to blend out the edges just to make sure everything is smooth, I will use this brush. I really like it for that. It's pretty smooth on the eyes. Overall, it does a great job at blending. Now, I don't know if this brush is still available from MAC because it is the Duo Fiber, so it's possible that it's not. When it comes to all of my blending brushes, they're all around the same size and they do similar things. If I want to make sure I can build up the shade and pack that in, I will use this one. If ever I would just want to diffuse the eyeshadows, then I'll use these two from MAC. So they have different purpose, but if ever you're considering buying just one to start, I would say go with the 242 from Makeup Forever because it is truly amazing. This is the small shadow brush from Sephora. I like this brush because it is super dense but also very smooth. This is a synthetic brush. It's super soft on the eyes. I love to use it just to pack on the shade on my lid. It fits perfectly, and I also like to use it on my bottom lash line just to smoke it out. It's a great brush for the bottom lash line for that, but mostly use it on my lid. If ever I cut my crease and I just want to make sure that the concealer is well blended and even, I'll use this brush also because I find that it works well with the concealer, but for the most part I use this as a packing brush. So the next one I have is the MAC brush number 195. This is what it looks like. It's a beautiful flat brush. This is a synthetic brush. It's technically meant to be a concealer brush, but I don't like to use it as a concealer. I only use it on my lids, and it's great if ever you want to carve your eye, if you're doing a cut crease. I also like to use it to apply liquids and gel products, and then something like this just to blend out the outer part, just to make sure it's good. It's great to apply it, but I wouldn't use it to blend anything. Whenever I want to apply eyeshadows on my bottom lash line or really close to my lashes, I like using this brush from Makeup Forever. So this is the number 210, and it is a synthetic brush. Now I got this brush recently because I'm looking for a brush that was flat but also dense. Now this one is pretty thick and it's great. It fits right underneath here. Like, I'll use it just to apply the product. You can use it to blend a little bit. I wouldn't use it to smoke it out. If ever I just want to have an even amount of the eyeshadow on my bottom lash line, I'll use this. It's a great brush just to pack it on. If ever I want to smoke it out, then I'll use this one from Sephora. I love this brush so much that I got a backup for it. I ended up purchasing these two at the same time on sale at Sephora. I find that a lot of the Makeup Forever brushes do go on sale, so always keep an eye out because you never know, you might end up finding a good deal. You know, another type of brush which I find is great if ever I want to pack on the powdered eyeshadow on my lids, but I want to make sure it's in a small area. I like to use this one from Marc Jacobs. This is the smudge brush. I find it too small if ever I'm doing my lids. It just takes me a while. I find that the one from Makeup Forever is a little bit longer, so it just makes it easier. But this one is great if ever I want to apply, let's say, an eyeshadow in this area, just small areas. It's great for that. I can use shimmers with this and it's perfect. The other two brushes I have are from MAC. I don't use them as often as I used to, but I do think they are great brushes. Now this one is the 266. This is an angle brush with natural hair. I really like this one because it is so thin. Whenever I do like a wing look with powdered products, I like to use this one. You can also use it with cream, which is great, but nowadays I use something else for my wings. I wanted to show you an example of what happens if ever the water goes past this area. You see, I need to glue it now. Just make sure you don't make the same mistakes as me. Now the one I use whenever I want to do that wing look, it's this one from MAC. It's a small brush. Everyone has their favorite type of brush for a wing look, but this one is great for me. This is the 210 and it's super tiny, super thin. Once you apply the product, this gets a lot thinner and then you're able to get really close to the area you want and then just add it. The tip is not super thin like the liquid liners, but I still think this is great if ever you want to do your liner. I do like it. You can also use the other angled brush, but I like this one just because I can take my time and then go in. So when it comes to foundation brushes, I love, truly love using this one from Marc Jacobs. This is the Phase 3. It's a small brush, but it's extremely dense. It is a little bit rounded on the side, but then at the top, it's a little bit flat. I did use it today, so that's why it looks like this. But this brush is truly amazing. For my foundations, I love a light to medium coverage, and I find that whenever I'm using this brush, the coverage is almost full and it's beautiful, it's smooth, it's even. I don't need to go in with a sponge or anything after. It's a beautiful brush. Unfortunately, it is discontinued along with all the other Marc Jacobs brushes. This is a synthetic brush. It is amazing. This is the best brush I've ever had. To be honest, I haven't tried any other. So this is the backup that I plan on using from now on. I love a multi-purpose brush, and this one from Makeup Forever is amazing. This is the 122. Again, it is synthetic. So this is a stippling brush, and the good thing is you just go in and dab it basically on your face and then you can blend it out. The only issue that I find with this, whenever I'm applying my foundation, I find that it leaves a little bit of streaks, so I don't like to use it for my foundation. This product I find performs better for anything cream, so either blushes, bronzer, contour, name it, it's amazing, and it gives me a nice blended, seamless, effortless look, and it's truly beautiful. This brush, I need to get another backup because I'm not risking not having this in my life again. It's a great brush and I do think it is worth it. So the next one I have is the number 130. This is my largest powdered brush and I truly love it. When I first saw it, I fell in love, and I did save to buy this brush because it is my, this is my most expensive brush and I have no regrets, okay? The largest one they have, I think they have 3 sizes, like a medium and then a small. But if you're going for something pretty big, just go for this one. So this one is a large powdered brush and I like to use it for, you know, all over my face just to set my makeup. Let's say if I have a finishing powder. I also use this for my bronzer. I feel like it fits perfectly, you know, on the outer part of my face. Now it is too big for me to put it on my nose, but you could still do it, just use the angle. So this is great for that as well. Also, you can use it as a blush, right? I mean, it is pretty big and it's just going to take most of my cheeks. As long as you're using it for powdered products, you are good to go. You can use it as anything you want on your face. So this brush, I do think is truly amazing. Again, I do need to get a backup just in case. This is the bronze brush from Marc Jacobs, but I actually love using this for my blushes. This is a synthetic brush. I really like this brush because I can use it for my bronzer like it's intended for, or I can also use it for my blush. And I love using it as a blush brush because look, it fits perfectly on my cheeks, and also the fact that it's tapered, it sits right there, it's just comfortable, and I can just go in and have that effortless look. Now it makes sense why it's a bronzer brush because, you know, you can just press it in and then just bring it up and have, again, that blown out look. But another one I like from Marc Jacobs, again, I had an obsession. They truly make the best brushes. So this one is the Mega. It's actually a body brush, but I like to use it for my bronzer because it just fits right here. And I just love that I can just, you know, blend everything. And it also fits perfectly on my forehead. Also, I can use the side just to blend out this part of my nose bridge, and I really like this brush for that. Another brush I like using for my cheeks is the 129 from MAC. This is a natural hair brush. This brush is not as dense. It is rounded all over and I really like it. It fits perfectly also on my cheeks. If ever I want to target a smaller area on my cheeks, then I find that it works perfectly for that. Because this is natural hair, I can also use it for cream and liquid products, but I mostly use it for my powdered blush. These are actually available in the Pro line. This is what it looks like. It's a mini. If ever I want to apply my foundation and I just don't want that, you know, full coverage look, I'll use this one. It's amazing. It doesn't leave any streaks. It's truly beautiful. And I also like to use it any liquid products that I have. If ever you're planning on trying them, I would say wait for the Sephora sale. You can get 30% off and buy these, okay? The last one I have is the 56.5. I like using this brush just to blend out creamy, thick products. So if I have a creamy foundation stick or I have my creamy bronzers, I'll use this one just in small areas. For example, if ever I'm putting my bronzer or my contour around my nose bridge and I don't want to use a sponge because sometimes it's just too big, this brush fits perfectly. It doesn't go in my eye, okay, and it just stays in this area and then I can just blend it. It does a great job at doing that. Also, same thing, if ever I'm applying concealer on all over my lids, I'll use this a couple dabs and I'm done. Okay, it's great. It's also pretty dense compared to the other brush, and I think that's why I like it for thicker products. It just gives you an even coverage, it builds up the shade and also just stays in that area, whereas the other one is better to diffuse, if that makes sense. So that's everything for today. Thank you so much for watching my video. Let me know if you have any questions down below. If you haven't done it already, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. I would truly appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.